Guys, we finally found out about the watch in Hawkeye. What does it mean? We know exactly what it means. We're talking about it right now. Guys, Chris and Rob here for the Jersey Comic Crew as always. And today we are discussing the watch at the very end of Hawkeye, episode 6. Rob, we finally found out it's Laura's. After all this time, it's Laura's.
We figured that out a couple episodes ago. Well, me and Chris, we were like, theorizing who could it be and all this kind of stuff. I do gotta say, the whole watch thread of the show, this like sub of the subplots, I felt like was a little meh to me because I thought it was gonna mean more, right? It kind of had the feeling like something big and chaotic was gonna happen. It's gonna be this world-renowned thing, and we're like, oh, it used to be Laura's because she used to be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we don't want her to know about that life. Cool, we figured that out via context clues. That does nothing for us as viewers except give us a little bit more insight into Laura. Maybe she's gonna help Hawkeye do more stuff down the road. I don't know. It's cool, but it's not like as big as I thought it was gonna be.
I will say this. I wonder if this reveal will give us kind of foresight into the future. Maybe they're gonna explore her backstory. Maybe something in her past comes to fruition, and that's what propels either a Hawkeye season 2 or something else in another show. But yeah, we find out that, on the back of this Rolex was a S.H.I.E.L.D. logo and the number 19. And the number 19 is a code for Mockingbird, which is what a lot of people were, kind of theorizing as well as us, that she was a Mockingbird in the past, and the comics Mockingbird and Hawkeye do get married for a shorter period of time, not with kids or anything like now. But if she was Mockingbird, she was doing this kind of B-C list hero activity within S.H.I.E.L.D., kind of like what Clint was doing as Hawkeye or Natasha. So did she kind of create her own enemies that might come back to haunt them later?
Do I think she created her own enemies? Not necessarily. I think that was just a calling sign for her, just like Clint's calling sign was Hawkeye, but he took that and developed that and made it essentially something more. I don't really think that we're going to get too much of her as a Mockingbird character. I don't think we're going to get her as like fighting anymore. I think she's a mom. I think she's put that life behind her. She just doesn't want that revealed in case anything blowbacks from S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back to her. There's already enough heat on that family because of Clint. They don't need any more hints or heat because somebody has a vendetta against S.H.I.E.L.D. I could definitely see that being a plot like, oh, we find out you're used to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, more so than you were Mockingbird, if that makes sense. I think if we focus too much on her being Mockingbird, not necessarily that we're diluting the family, it's like, why are we focused on this unless she's going to put on the suit? And I don't think that's going to be a realistic thing we're going to see in the MCU.
Yeah, no, I don't think she's putting on the suit. What I mean is there something in her past that's going to come to fruition and come back now, based on her time at S.H.I.E.L.D., based on the massive amount of enemies S.H.I.E.L.D. made, but while trying to quote unquote save the world. There's, if she was a special forces unit of a Mockingbird, the way that Clint was, or Natasha, there's somebody who's going to have, problems with her, as well as the fact that this watch was out there for a while, right? Yeah. He got it back, but we don't know if there was information taken from this thing, if there was something special on it that they didn't want to know that's going to come back to haunt them later, where Clint's going to have to come back. I'm not saying she's going to suit up as Mockingbird again.
Okay.
I'm thinking, though, something is going to threaten that family based on what was on that watch. I don't think we are done with the information that is on that watch that we still don't really know. Is it like a James Bond watch, right? Do you turn it and then like information pops up, like a hollow of Nick Fury comes up and he's telling you all the secrets of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I don't know, but I think there's a possibility that down the line, regardless of who the main villain is, we could see something from her past and maybe flashbacks, kind of like what we saw in the first Ant-Man when Hank Pym's talking about him being the original Ant-Man with Janet. Maybe something like that. We see just a flashback of a different, actress in the Mockingbird outfit.
Maybe.
While Linda Cardinelli's just kind of telling the story. So I don't know how much of a factor it's going to play in, but it's tough to kind of ignore that watch was out in the open for a while before it was found. So I'm guessing someone has some information somewhere.
I do see the weight of that. I do think that'll be really cool and a great way to start Hawkeye season 2. I just don't see any immediate implications, and I think this is something that we all have to sit on and wait on and see if it unfolds. But it was very satisfying to get the whole watch situation under control. Now we know what it was. You have the nod to Mockingbird. She used to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She used to do these kind of activities, And maybe that's going to be key for the Avengers moving forward. Maybe she teams up with the Avengers. She lives in the Avengers compound, and like the whole family relocates in there, and like she works for them.
I don't know. I think that's a stretch. I think the whole point is to get them away from the city. But
Fair.
one thing I do think that you would be definitely interested in, considering you turn into a 14-year-old girl when there's love involved, sir.
I do.
What if the
an
backstory?
ex-boyfriend?
Well,
Oh my God!
I wasn't
see
thinking that aspect, but
Oh.
now that you said something. But no, I was thinking more of like, will we get to see kind of how her and Clint met and how that dynamic maybe shifted between like him and Natasha were partners. Like, I'm sure outside of them knowing that there wasn't an attraction there, people thought they were together. And then Mockingbird comes in and then that becomes a thing. Do we see kind of like their origin story of the family that they made together outside of S.H.I.E.L.D., outside of the Avengers,
I like
as more of
that.
like the flashback stuff, which involves this watch, involves whoever. Maybe she dated a villain who knows stuff about her.
I like that one more.
Which I have a theory of that in another video. But I think there is going to be something with this watch and possibly a little more about the past of Hawkeye and possibly Laura Barton too.
That's definitely a possibility, guys. We want to hear your possibilities down in the comments below. What you think the watch could mean to the future of the MCU.
And guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, it really helps the channel out a lot. If you're new, subscribe, turn those notifications. You don't miss any more of our conversations about Hawkeye. We are not done. We have some more videos for you guys. And if you missed any, make sure to check them out on the channel. They're everywhere for you. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew, and we will see you next time.